show us your tips in conjunction with the Pro Grip Racing website. Bringing you the Sydney and Melbourne Quaddie legs this weekend. Beaver, how are you?
Good, mate. How good is Pro Grip Racing website?
Tremendous. It's come up great. Yeah, awesome. There's going to be plenty more news on the site going forward. Lots more tips. Some of our daily and weekly thoughts.
There. Good news, good racing information, and some really good bookie offers.
So, plenty of bookie offers there, and plenty.
If you like a punt, then I recommend you get on there, click on one of the bookies, sign up, and take advantage.
Definitely. So that's all up there. That's going to keep growing, and we're excited to be part of it as it does grow. And looking forward to working with them as we go along. And as the site does grow, we'll cover a few more news and hot topics each week as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
And but for this week, the exciting thing is a bit of a spring in the step of everyone. It's the good horses are back.
Good horses are back. We did our first midweek session, Dougie, which went okay.
Yeah, you know, right. You found a tiny there at a nice price.
Got the tiny early in the day at $7.50-ish. That made sure we had a winning day.
Yeah. Emeralds got smashed and won stylishly. A few other winners there. I found the first two winners in Sydney from what we did, and
the Canterbury played completely different.
It was down the outside. It was chopped out and went against everything I'd planned for. But
I think
best horses.
Everything's been up the inside there.
Saigon was a nice win, which I was keen on as best horse, but didn't like the fact it would be last, but it didn't matter by that time of the day.
Yeah, it was perfect if you knew that. Pressure was a good tip of yours that just missed.
Missed, and
but each
down
way,
the outside.
What, 10s plus?
Yeah, that was the you could have got when I tipped it was $12.
So well done.
You could have got $3 or $4 a place there.
Good stuff at Canterbury.
Yeah, and Cranbourne, it was a bit the opposite. We both fell into Lake's Folly, and maybe it's time we accepted it's not a very good horse.
Well, it was the worst ride ever.
Yeah, it actually trucked up and did well enough to win, and then he decided to go wide, and by the time he went wide, he had nowhere to go, then tried to go wider, and then had to cut back, and if he just stayed in the rail and went through, he probably supposed to win.
Yeah.
But anyway, we move on, and we move on to some better horses and some good racing at Rosehill. At the moment, soft, but there's supposed to be rain coming tomorrow.
Yes.
Supposed to come tomorrow and Saturday, so I'm working on the worst side of soft. How do you approach a meeting with the rail in the true position?
Look, I'm a bit nervous, to be honest. It's really hard tipping a couple of days in advance, not having seen the track, but, I'm probably leaning on pace leaders.
Yep. Oh, you just put your mic up a little bit there. It's better for us all. Rail true is advantage the outside usually, and wet track can be run on, but Rosehill, if it does have that more bias than not, if the price is apparent early by this time, we'll know, but we'll talk about it as we get through each and every one of these quaddie legs, which kicks off with the Rosebud over 1,100 metres for the returning 3-year-olds. Lead up to the Golden Rose. The fun fact from this is no horse that's ever competed in this has won the Golden Rose. So we've had a couple go close. A couple started favourite. I think Minari started favourite out of this, and Not Hallowed Crown, another one of those sort of horses, Cummings horses, early on in his career. Won this and didn't feature in the Scissor Kick, another one that ran well here and didn't go anywhere in the Golden Rose. But anyway, we've got to find a winner here today, and some nice horses resuming. What's the market say here?
Yeah, we've got Anders at $3.70, Kumasi at $4, Rulership $6, Return with Honour $7, The Face $7, Old Kirk 11s.
How did The Face get through as a horse's name?
What's wrong with it?
When you're cheering at home?
The Face.
Come on, The Face.
What's wrong with that?
Okay. We have different search histories and...
Oh, okay.
All right. Never mind.
I don't want to look
It's
at
over
your
your
browser, mate.
All right, so to speak. Good turn of phrase. It's over your head, and we're talking about coming in the face. Anyway.
Oh, right. I got it now.
I'll move on.
Yes.
Alrighty. Some nice horses here. What's the market say?
Very good. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I'm glad everyone liked it.
Yes. Okay. Might have to back it now. There we go.
I won't be, but that's cool.
Yeah, me either. Who's going? Me.
Do a market. You did?
Yep. I've done the market.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, so I was distracted by my browser. It's just to close a window. Yeah, you can go first. Go on. What do you mean?
No, I got it.
Set up.
I'm going Return with Honour.
Yeah, nice trial.
Yeah, very
Awesome
nice
trial.
trial. Yeah, so I liked its trial. This is a good open race. Plenty of chances. but I just like the trial of Return with Honour. I was slightly concerned that if it did really favour the leaders, that it may prove difficult, but there's probably going to be a lot of pace in this because I think you've got a few go forward.
I really liked
they'll both go forward.
Yeah, I had rulership from gate one, probably just taking a sit, but it'll want to be up there. So as you can see there, the way I've sort of looked at it, but I liked a lot of the trials here.
Yep.
I liked Anders' trial; it was great. She went around Warwick Farm, went to the outside fence, maybe got a bit lost, but trialled awesome. I thought Old Kirk worked through the line really well. The concern with Old Kirk this year, I'll just touch on a couple of them, is it jumped in front, got snagged in the trial, and being a Hawks horse, I feel like that's going to be what it's going to try and do all prep, and it's going to put itself out of play in some of these races, and it may have bigger fish to fry. Rulership trialled really well, and I like the 1080 metre trial. So I came back to Anders being on top for me. Track, as we said, track sort of could suit leaders. I think it's going to probably sit outside the face, and I think off a Gosford win, I'm happy to take that on. So I think it's a bunny, which leaves Anders in hopefully a controlling spot for crossing over. The big odds there, Old Kirk is a big price. I'll probably have to take it on, but I think it shouldn't be that price. I think it should be closer to 7. And Rulership's a good price.
Yep.
So while I am with the favourite, those two are overs for me, and I think the gaps are the rest of the market there. But I really like to Return of Honour's trial. It's one of those horses that hasn't done it on race day for me yet.
Yeah, but it's ran in good company.
It's been in top races all the way through as a 2-year-old.
Yep.
So I've managed to talk about 4 horses, but for me, Anders over Rulership and Old Kirk.
And Return with Honour for me.
Yep, beautiful. All right, we'll go into the Group 2 Missile Stakes. Another precursor to spring, been a race won by Lonhro in the past. Rain Affairs run it twice. Beaver Ado, and last year was Elise.
Yep.
So good horses race. How's the market look here?
Yeah, the market looks like this. It's $3.70 for Melody Bell, Eduardo $4.60, Flit $6, Savitano $7, Special Reward $9.50, and write your own ticket the rest.
I'm with Flit here. I liked the trial. It was a real live chaser. It didn't have to do much to really chase a line in its trial. First prep was dynamic, bursting through and winning. I think Savatiano gets a right run. Is I think well found in the market. They were probably want it longer there. Special Award was the other one at big price, but Flit on top for me. A good fresh horse and probably gets 3 back the fence and probably need a little bit of luck, but enough pace where it should be able to get out and steam home there. Special Award might get outside lead control of the race and is a bit of an underrated horse. One I had to have a couple of looks at today.
Yep.
What about you?
I went for Eduardo.
Yeah, okay.
I think it'll lead.
Yep.
It'll get a cozy run in front and give them something to chase. I really like the way that it fought on last start.
Yeah.
That impressed me. It's got Nash.
I like the Nash sticks on it too.
Yeah, and so I'm going to have Eduardo lead and just prove a bit too good in the run home. But there's plenty of chances. Melody Bell's not without a chance if it gets the right run.
Thoughts on Melody Bell?
Well, if the middle of the track if they're suited by that, then it's certainly going to be the horse getting the last shot at him. Flit might need a little bit of luck in running, and certainly Savatiano, as you mentioned, gets probably the right run in this race. But I think Eduardo might be just a bit too strong for him.
Yeah, when I did the form on this, I went through. It's quite easy to get into there and just put the pen through probably 6 horses.
Yep.
Just go, I'm done with colding. The top ones there, the Waller ones you don't want. So by the time Lower Main just goes around for fun now, and Glenelg's been towed up by Eduardo already.
Yep.
So it only really leaves you 4 horses you had to.
That's right.
Have a look at. So, I think we found the right 4.
Yep. 100%.
So for you Eduardo, and for me Flit on top there.
Yep.
As we go into another benchmark 78, back to winter racing here. But probably a good thing in over the 1,200 metres, Beaver.
Yeah, the short price favourite, Tallier, at just a bit better than even money, $2.05. Best Stone at $4.60, Minted at $6, Lancaster Bomber $8.50, Golly I'm Lucky $12, and keep going the rest, 20s plus.
You like the favourite?
We'll tip the favourite. $2 is about as skinny as I want.
Yeah.
What's
been happening with these horses, though, is generally you get a price. The last few weeks, you've been able to get $250.
Yeah, they've gone out a little bit.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed with it last run. I thought it would just beat that field and beat them up.
I'm forgiving it because Kensington was absolute. I'll give you the reasoning. Kensington was an absolute leaders track that day. Killen's, I think, a decent horse. It sat 3 wide, and then Jay Collett and Stewart Report dropped the reins at the 200 metre mark as well.
Yep.
Not on purpose, but dropped the reins, and that obviously doesn't help.
No.
It just got a bit lost about 250, but then by the time it got to line, it sort of was taking ground back off him. Out of that race, Not Faint-Hearted came and bolted in last week. Matawaka Tappy won 2 weeks back, 2 Wednesdays back, and Emeralds won yesterday. So fair bit of form out of the race. So for me, I had it almost as a moral. I'm going back to the starting price in the lead-up race, and I couldn't find anything else in this race that I really wanted to even discuss. Like when I'm thinking about throwing Top Striker in the Quaddie as a second horse just for something to do, it was time to move on.
The thing with this as well is it's probably going to almost lead in this where it
had
a bit of chasing last start.
Absolutely.
It probably wants a little bit further than 1,200 to be honest, but looks to be the horse to beat in this.
I'd say to be just kept fresh from 2 weeks back and not much work and try and just knock up a win before it goes somewhere else.
Yeah, good.
Excellent. And the last of the day, another one over the 1,200 metres. A few first uppers here, an interesting race here.
Yeah,
some spruik horses, Beaver, and what's the market say?
Valdestano starts favourite at $4, Discharged at $4.80, Crystal Breeze $5, Partners $6.50, Fender $6.50, Perigord $9.50, and Zoolander $12s.
Interesting race because there's some pace up front in this.
There's some pace up front, some winning horses coming off of really good winning form.
Yep.
There's plenty of chances.
So I, first of all, thought Rachel King out wide had a decision to make where she wanted to go, and she's not, with all due respect to her, I'm sure she's a lovely girl.
It's only gate 5.
She's not a decision-making jockey for me. And I think that Fender and Partners pushed up and keep her out.
Well, Partners will definitely lead.
Yeah, but then Fender's going to sit on his back, so then if Discharge doesn't get across, all the pace is inside, so they could have control there. So Discharge, I had sort of maybe forced out a little bit wide, but might pull a pair back. It is a gay horse, so might want to try and put the pressure on. I ended up going to Crystal Breeze. I thought Chasing Handspun was good last start. Before that was a good win at Canterbury, and I'm going with the Saturday form. Well, I guess what is now Saturday form over a lot of midweek stuff here. I took on Fender just because coming out of Highway and then trialled at Tamworth, a lot of these horses would have done in what it did to Tamworth horses in that trial.
Yep.
And Partners is honest. Partners is going to be up on pace and honest, but Crystal Breeze on top for me. How about you?
I've done the same.
Okay.
For exactly the same reasons. Interestingly enough, I thought the pace would be right on, and they'd go helter-skelter. Partners is climbing up a little bit more in weight now, 1,200 as far as it wants it. So it's going to set up a handy pace race. There's going to be a few that are going to chase, and then I thought Crystal Breeze might just sit behind them, and I thought Handspun in this race would be pretty hard to beat.
Definitely.
So that form for me is good enough to win this race, and at $5, I thought that was good enough and around the mark. So I've gone with you here, mate. Crystal Breeze for me.
Where'd Valdestana come from as favourite? I couldn't work that out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, right? Because it ran second first up against Warwick Farm, and it got beaten by Light and Me, and should have won the race. It got backed off the map into odds on.
Yeah, it was.
And it just didn't finish off, and the other thing finished over the top of it. It was a little bit disappointing, actually. So
yeah, I thought the same.
Look, I think it's going to be hard to beat. It's probably back out to its right price, but it's drawn 9.
I noticed, that market's actually changed since I did some form this afternoon.
Yeah, it's had a bit of money for it.
Yeah.
$40 into $4. But there's a few around the, $5 into $5.50 into $4.80 discharge, $5.50 into $5. So all the top ones have all been backed in. All the top 6 have all been backed in $6 or 50 cents. So the market's tightening up anyway.
Yeah. Interesting to see where that heads on the weekend. So what we decided to do after the midweek one is we're going to have dueling quarters each week.
Yep.
So we'll be in charge of one each, and we'll see how we go for the next few months.
Yep.
See who makes the most money here. So I've drawn the Sydney Straw this weekend.
Yes.
So for my quaddie, I'm going to start with the wide first up. This here I've gone wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. So it's Old Kirk. Prime Star goes in at a bit of value. Rulership, Kumasi, Anders, Return with Honour go in. So actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 I've taken on the face. And gone wide there. Into the second leg, 4, 5, 7, and 3. So 4 Melody Bell, 5 Flit, 7 Special Reward, and 13 Savatiano. 4, 5, 7, and 13, sorry.
Yep.
5 and 10 in the second last, which is thrown in Ghostly at some value and Talia. And home with 1, 2, 7, and 8. So Discharge, Crystal Breeze, Partners, Fenders. $50 gets you 26% of that, Quaddie.
Good man.
So hopefully get a split along the way there. And we'll have a better idea as some of these horses get fitted down the road. Value bet for the day, Beaver.
Yeah, my value bet's Return with Honour.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with that at about $7.
Beautiful.
I think that's a really good chance in the 6th. I think that is. And
my value will be Flit, race 7, number 5, around the $6.50 mark. I think she is there to run well. And we'll wrap up this Sydney leg of the show with our best bet, Beav.
Yeah, my best bet comes up in race 4, number 5, Heart of the Oak.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, the Gerald Ryan horse.
Gerald Ryan horse. I think it's ready for a first-up kill, and this is an overly tough race.
Right time to be backing Gerald Ryan.
Yep.
My best is Royal Banquet, race 2, number 4, about 260. Impressive winner in the wet at Warwick Farm, and not much to beat here.
Yeah.
So a good betting day at Rosehill, pretty keen. I think in the first... did you have anything else earlier in the day as well?
No, that was it for me, mate.
That it. I think Dancing Gidget's going to run well in the first. And then the ones you mentioned, the Quaddie legs. So good day. Hopefully it's not bog heavy track.
Well, you get a good idea after the first, because horses like Montefilia and that need to be able to come from the back, so they'll give you a bit of an idea.
Yeah.
The first is a good race.
Yeah. Obviously a few winners there as well. So we'll wrap up the Sydney leg, courtesy of Show Us Your Tips and the Pro Group Racing site, and be back to talk Melbourne in just a second.